occur. And again, the problem
there was no Hamas in those ambulances, Danny. We have the audio recordings. They were killed in cold blood.
No, Mehdi, no.
What's going on, you guys? We have Mehdi Hasan going in on the genocide deniers, on the Israeli apologists, the Zionist pigs. Let's get into it.
Distracted, as you say. Let's not be distracted. Let's focus on the core issue. You say you want peace. You began the interview saying you want peace. You say that these ratios are irrelevant. All right, let's talk about specific examples then, not about ratios or percentages. On Monday, Israel struck the Nasser hospital not once, but twice, killing at least 20 people, including 5 journalists, multiple first responders who had rushed to the scene, Danny, after the first strike to pull people out of the rubble, and then they were hit, and 3 of those journalists were killed in a second strike. A double tap, the kind of thing that Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Iraq used to do, what Assad has done in Syria, what Putin has done in Ukraine. Those are war crimes, are they not? Attacking a hospital without warning, killing journalists, killing first responders in multiple strikes, and then saying it was a mistake. No, it was deliberate, cold-blooded.
Well, Mehdi, here I think we do agree on the facts on the ground. Why do we agree? Because it is investigated specifically. And this was something that, we do not do. So we are not acting
Hold on. You did it, Danny. Hold on. You can't say we do not do. You did it. Israel did it.
No, I'll tell you what's the difference. The difference is that Putin, Hamas, Assad, they never apologized for any death. Here, Netanyahu himself, the IDF, they said it was a mistake and we apologize. And when we apologize, it means we are going to investigate and correct the things. And
okay, hold on. But why do it in the first place? It wasn't an accident. You did a double tap strike on a hospital. An apology is not enough when you do a war crime like that.
No, well, from what I understand is that there was a position. See, that's part of the problem. When Hamas is embedded, when Hamas is using their own population, their civil population as human shields, when they put, whether it's surveillance or guns on top of mosques and hospitals.
There were no guns on top of the Nasser hospital, as you know. That's a lie. Danny Island, there were no guns on top of the Nasser hospital.
And it's difficult to believe any type of apology whatsoever. You have Netanyahu, who already apologized. It was like 2 months ago that they bombed a Catholic church. And then you have Netanyahu saying sorry. So it's very difficult to see any type of remorse whenever this is the constant actions of the IDF. They are bombing innocent people. 3 people were killed in that church. It's just, how can we even believe that you're really sorry?
Mehdi,
that's a lie. Can we just clarify? That is a lie. There were no guns on top of the Nasser hospital.
Listen, you know that according to the Geneva Convention, if a hospital or any other civilian place is used for terror, it's a legitimate target.
So you did attack it deliberately? Hold on, is it an accident or did you attack it deliberately? You're telling me 2 different things at the same time.
It was, okay. It was attacked deliberately because the soldiers on the ground saw that there was a surveillance camera there that is directing snipers at them. Now, what was, from what I understand, what was the mistake? The mistake was that they did not use a pinpoint, drone, something, just at the camera. They used a tank. And this is what we're investigating. Who gave the order to do it with a tank? They shouldn't have done it with a tank.
Danny, isn't the problem here that you say there's an investigation? I've been following this conflict. I've been following Gaza for many years. You and I have spoken many times over the years. The Israeli investigations are worthless, are they not? Let me give you an example. In March. No. Well, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, and then you can respond. Hold on, Danny. Let me give you an example, and then you can respond. In March, near Rafah, a group of 15 paramedics and aid workers driving in clearly marked emergency vehicles and uniforms were shot and killed by the Israeli military, who claimed after the killings that they were advancing suspiciously, that the lights were not on, that there were Hamas fighters on board, that they were in a combat zone. None of those things turned out to be true. Sky News, other media investigated this using satellite imagery, audio recordings. All of the Israeli claims turned out to be false. Israel admitted the claims were false. Those paramedics were killed in cold blood, one by one, according to the UN. Some from as close as 12 meters away. Gunshot wounds to the head and torso. Paramedics in uniform. They were then buried in a mass grave. Their ambulances were crushed. The entire thing was a cover-up. Israel says we're going to investigate it. Do you know how many soldiers were prosecuted as a result of that investigation? 0. The deputy commander was fired. Danny, 15 people were killed. Not a single Israeli soldier was charged, let alone prosecuted.
Because, I don't know about Sky News or whatever, but we are on the ground and Hamas was using them as cover. And again, the problem
there was
is
no Hamas in those ambulances, Danny. We have the audio recordings. They were killed in cold blood.
No, Mehdi, no. If Hamas was not using their own people as, as cannon fodder, as human shields, none of this would have happened. And by the way, when I say that we left Gaza, and you say, yes, but we surrounded. Why did we surround it? Because the arms of Hamas, had Hamas disarmed, Danny, Gaza would have turned into a Singapore.
Danny, we have video footage showing the ambulance had lights flashing, the logos were on, that they had come under fire. The big issue is here, you keep saying different things. You say it was a mistake, but we had to attack the hospital. You say there was an investigation, but there were Hamas on the ambulances. Israel's own internal investigation says there were professional failures and they fired the deputy commander. What I'm asking you is, when you're massacring 15 people in an ambulance or 20 people at a hospital and nobody goes to prison, your apologies are worthless.
It's very interesting to see this guy. I mean, out of all the different people that Mehdi Hasan has been talking to, he talked on Piers Morgan to, I believe it was a retired IDF soldier. Now he's talking to the ambassador. It's just, he is the one, right, with this ambassador. You can see that he is really just sticking up for his group. It's a very much like herd mentality. No, they would never do that. No, Israel would never. We would never do anything like that. They couldn't. They possibly couldn't, because he doesn't want to see the actual inhumaneness, all the different, the bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. He cannot even dare to look at it.
No, first of all,
somebody has to go to prison,
Danny. That nobody's going to
not a
prison.
Single Israeli soldier has been prosecuted for killing a Palestinian in Gaza. Not a single Israeli soldier.
We have an independent attorney general in the military. I trust them.
So why has no Israeli soldier been prosecuted for killing a Palestinian since October the 7th, 2023?
Again, if Hamas was not doing this October the 7th and not using their own population...
Danny, October the 7th doesn't justify killing paramedics and then mass grave burying them with their ambulances. That is a war crime.
I would say nothing justifies killing paramedics.
So why did Israeli soldiers shoot them in the head and chest from 12 meters away and then lie about it?
I have different information about it.
Hold on, Danny, there's no different information. We have video, audio, satellite evidence that Sky News, The Guardian, CNN, international media have checked. Israel's own investigation says it shouldn't have happened. It was happened due to poor night visibility is the BS from the Israeli investigation. Why has no one gone to prison is my question to you.
There we have it, you guys. At the end of the day, these people have lost their land. They're getting their houses freaking demolished. They're bombed. If you look at it, they've been put into a corner. Now they've bombed the whole entire corner so that they can put Gaza Riviera. You have Donald Trump making AI videos of the hotels he's going to put in place. And look, the only difference, this is not a new thing. We've seen this done before. The only difference is that now we are all sitting and watching it happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.